So good day everyone. We are the Group 5. I am Zaira Avila together with my co-presenters Syra Delig, Erica Malinap, and Krisha Angela Nuez. So our assigned topic is all about relativistic work and energy. So our learning objectives is at the end of the lesson, students should be able to, number 1, define the terms related to relativistic work and energy. Number 2, integrate the concepts of relativistic work and energy into a broader understanding of physics principles. And lastly, to perform accurate relativistic calculations.
So now let's proceed to the topic. So when classical physics break down. So imagine a car speeding down the highway. Classical physics, the physics we learned in school, works perfectly fine for describing its motion. But what if the car could go faster and faster, eventually reaching the speed of light? At that point, classical physics breaks down. So this Einstein theory of relativity explains that the time and space are interconnected. And as an object approaches the speed of light, the time slows down for it and distances appear shorter. So this means that the car's energy and the mass would increase dramatically. And classical physics wouldn't be able to accurately predict its behavior anymore. Relativity is essential for understanding how things behave at these extreme speeds. So, which is important for things like particle accelerators and GPS systems. So now let's proceed to the key to relativity of Einstein theory of relativity using the Lorentz factor. So this factor represented by the equation gamma equals 1 divided by the square root of 1 minus v squared over c squared. So describes how time and space change at very high speed, approaching the speed of light. At low speed is approximately 1, meaning the space and time behaves we normally experience. But as speed increases, the gamma gets larger, showing that time slows down and distances shorten for the moved object. This is why the classical physics works well at low speeds, breakdowns at speeds near the speed of light. So mass isn't constant. So in everyday life, we think of an object, mass always be the same. But this Einstein theory of relativity shows this isn't true at a very high speed. As an object approaches the speed of light, its mass increases. This isn't because more matter is added, it's because its energy increases and energy, mass are equivalent. The faster the object moves, the more energy it has, and the greater its effective mass becomes. This increase is directly related to the Lorentz factor, which also affects the time and space at the high speed. So mass isn't constant. It depends on the object's velocity.
Beyond Ke, 1/2 mass v squared. Equation Ke equals, close parenthesis, gamma minus 1 m c squared. This equation gives the kinetic energy of an object at relativistic speeds. Note that as v approaches c, Ke approaches infinity. Which is mona 2 eta. Well, Ke is a kinetic energy. And gamma is a Lorentz factor. Kung unsa kapaspasa ang object ka mo, mag-always remember, kung unsa kapaspas ang object ka mo, maupod ka, daka ang Lorentz factor. M is, which is rest mass, which is, ano siya, kanang ang object dili gamove. C squared is the speed of light in vacuum, the value of speed of light in vacuum is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Relativistic momentum. Equation P equals ym v. Momentum also changes at relativistic speed. This equation shows the relativistic momentum. P, which is muna pangita, is gamma, is Lorentz factor kung nakadepende kung unsa kapaspasa ang moving sa object. But always remember, sa previous equation nato nga, kung unsa kapaspas ang object, muupod ka, daka ang Lorentz factor. M at rest is the object is not moving, and V is velocity as its object. Relativistic work. Work ay W equals change A equals gamma 2 m c squared. Gamma 1 m c squared, where gamma 1 and gamma 2 are the Lorentz factor at initial and final velocities. The work then is equal to the change in the object's total energy. And W is work. It is to transfer energy. And change A is the change the object. Gamma 2 is the Lorentz factor. Nakadepende kung unsa kapaspas ang moving sa object. As M at rest is the object is not moving, and the c squared is a previous equation na to, Kaganina is speed of light in vacuum is total of speed of light in vacuum is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. And gamma 1 is initial velocities, and m at rest is object is not moving, and c squared is the speed of light in vacuum, which is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Gamma 1 is initial velocities, and m at rest is object is not moving, and c squared is the speed of light in vacuum, which is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 meter per second.
Now let's proceed with the problem solving. Calculate the kinetic energy of an electron traveling at 0.8 speed for 80% of the speed of light. These values will be used to calculate the relativistic energy of the electron. So here are the given information. We have the electron speed, or v, that is 80% of the speed of light, or 0.8. We also have the speed of light, which is a fundamental constant, and also we have the electron's rest mass, that is 9.11 times 10 to the power of negative 31 kilograms. Okay, now let's go over the calculation for the relativistic kinetic energy of an electron. First, we have to calculate the Lorentz factor, or the gamma. To do this, we'll use the formula gamma is equal to 1 divided by square root 1 minus v2 over c2. So let's break it down step by step. Step 1 is to square the electron speed, or 0.8c, and it will give us 0.64. Next is we divide the result by the speed of light, so c squared, which gives us 0.4. Now, next step, or step 3, is we have to subtract 0.64 from 1, so this gives us 0.36. And for the fourth step, we will take the square root of 0.36, and it will give us 0.6. And then now finally, we divide 1 by 0.6, and this gives us our Lorentz factor, gamma is equal to 1.667. Now that we have our Lorentz factor, let's move on to the calculation of the relativistic kinetic energy. We'll start by subtracting 1 from our Lorentz factor, so it will give us 0.667. Next, we calculate the energy equivalent of the electron's mass using Einstein's famous equation. E is equal to mc squared, or energy is equal to mass multiplied by the speed of light squared. Plugging in the numbers, we get 9.11 times 10 minus 31 kilogram times 9 times 10 to the power of 16 m squared over s squared, and it will give us the value of 8.119 times 10 to the power of negative 14. Now, we'll multiply our result from gamma minus 1 by the energy equivalent of the electron's mass. So that is 0.667 times 8.119 times 10 to the power of negative 14 joules, and we will have the result of 5.44 times 10 to the power of negative 14 joules. And that's our final answer for the relativistic kinetic energy of the electron. This calculation shows just how important Einstein's theory of relativity is. When objects move at high speeds, we need to use these special formulas to get accurate results.
So what are the importance of relativistic work and energy? So why do we need to study this? So number one, it is essential for understanding high-speed phenomena in particle physics and astrophysics. So special relativity is crucial for accurately describing the behavior of objects moving at speeds approaching the speed of light. So this is vital in particle physics and astrophysics. So next, it shows the interconnectedness of mass and energy. So the theory reveals that the equivalence of mass and energy famously expressed as E equals mc squared. So this means that mass can be converted into energy and vice versa. So another importance of relativistic work and energy is that it provides a foundation for modern physics. So it underpins much of modern physics, influencing quantum mechanics and other fields. Also, it is essential for technological advancement. So GPS technology, for example, relies in the relativistic corrections of accurate positioning, while also expands our understanding of the universe. So it deepens our comprehension of the cosmos, from the behavior of black holes to the evolution of the universe. Lastly, it challenges our intuitive understanding of space and time. So that ends our lesson. I hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless.